Waters, and this is my presentation on frames, different types of frames, and how they apply to me. Now, first type of frame is the door frame. I'm just kidding. I'm just joshing you. Now, really, what are frames? Now, a good definition for frames is it's the different ways a leader should look at and approach leadership situations and team management. There are 4 different types of frames: the symbolic frame, the structural frame, human resource frame, and the political frame. Now, first frame is symbolic frame. Symbolic frame includes stuff like your team's culture, rituals, items or artifacts, or symbols. Now, a good example of something in the symbolic frame would be a ritual. Now, I'm not talking like a satanic ritual or anything. I'm talking like every month your boss takes your team out to have a pizza party or something. And then, but another example in the symbolic frame is like items or artifacts, and this can be something like a poster or like a company mug that you have, but it can also be something like a office cat. Yeah, now I've never heard of somebody having an office cat, but if I had an office, I would have one, so I put it. Now, second type of frame is structural frame. Now, this is basically how you keep your team organized. This includes everything like rules, all your policies, like things like coordination, and like any roles your team might have. So like someone writes and someone presents, or something similar. Now, third type of frame is human resource frame. Now, best way to describe this frame is it's your workforce, and basically it's what they need to succeed in your workspace. It's things like basic needs, any skills they have or need to learn, their relationships, and their health. A good example of something in the human resource frame is teaching your coworkers a new skill that they need. Or another example in the human resource frame is like buying your office a new air conditioner because the first one broke, because your team may not be as efficient and successful if they do not have good if they are too hot, if they do not have good enough cooling. Now, final type of frame is the political frame. Now, this includes things like power, resource management, and then conflict and negotiation. Now, a good example of something in the political frame is, let's say you have 2 coworkers. One has a poster up, one doesn't. Yes, I took this from the office example, but it's a good example. But one coworker has that poster up, and they love that poster. They really want to keep it up. But that other coworker, they do not like it. So the political frame, like you would need to use negotiation on them, like which is obviously something in the political frame. Like, so you need to talk to them both and be able to come to a conclusion to where they are both satisfied and hopefully happy. Now, on to reframing. Now, reframing is basically looking at something from a new light or perspective. And when it comes to management, it can be used to like step back and reassess your workspace and, of course, your frames. It can be used to better adapt to your coworkers or the people you employ, because some employees perform better under certain frames. So it allows you to adapt to almost any. Knowing about them allows you to adapt and to any worker you might have. Reframing. Now, benefits of frames. Now, some benefits include, one benefit is it gives leaders something to reflect on and just focus on. Not always a leader knows that they are doing something wrong, or they do not realize that they may only be using one frame, like way too much and not be using any other frame. So just knowing about frames in general and, reframing can allow you to step back and hopefully make your workspace better for not only for productivity but the happiness in your team. So those, and also another benefit is it just, and even if you aren't a leader, it is still good to know about frames because it can allow you to address your needs much better. So like, let's say you're thinking like, oh man, I need something better in the resource frame. You can go up to your manager and be like, hey, I need we need to get the bathrooms cleaned, or we need a new air conditioner because it is affecting how well I can do my job. So those are some benefits of knowing about them and having them. Now, some strengths and weaknesses. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. Now I do it, but my strength. Now, one strength that I do, one frame that I do think I am good at is the symbolic frame. I say this just because I do find it easier to assign a task or event to an object, or a time frame, or a place. Like, I may go somewhere to study, and I may be able to get work done easier there. Or I may put on a work hat or something. Or more realistically, for me, is when I put on my belt, I feel more like I'm in a working mode. I'm in more of that working mindset. Now, a frame that I am bad at, I would say is the political frame. Political frame does involve a lot of conflict, and I'm not the best with conflict. I'm not very confrontational. I do get anxious at stuff like that. And this is kind of team, like if like my friend group is arguing or something, I'm usually not the one to be like, hey, to like negotiate between them, just because I struggle with negotiation and stuff like that, just because anxious about it. But that is the end. Thank you so much for watching, and you have a marvelous day. I hope you learned a whole lot about frames.